Hello, my name is Josie St. Pierre and I'm the Director of Communications and Business Administration here at Lou's Bistro. Lou's is the newest product of the merging of Colonel's Retreat and Cheesecake Bistro. We wanted to take the school-spirited atmosphere from Colonel's Retreat and combine it with Cheesecake Bistro's home-style Cajun cooking and romantic setting, and that is how Lou's Bistro was born. Because we have team members from both Cheesecake Bistro and Colonel's Retreat, we have to completely transform the way things operate in the new bistro. Team members from Cheesecake Bistro are trained to communicate towards an older, more mature crowd where it wasn't very busy, whereas team members from the retreat are used to a loud, fast-paced atmosphere with wings, beer, and sports. The board has created a list of new policies and procedures for our new team so that together we can cater to all clientele here at Lou's Bistro. Before we get started, let me introduce you to the rest of my team.
My name is Nicole Sylvestre, and I'm the Director of Human Resources at TU's Bistro.
Hi, my name is Shayna Serpez, and I am honored to be the Director of Marketing for Lou's Bistro, and I'd like to thank you for sharing an interest in our organization.
One of the most important aspects to succeeding in business is communication. I will talk about the different types of audiences that we should prepare for, as well as the type of communication that we're going to need in the new bistro. There are two types of audiences, internal and external. Internal audiences are people inside the organization, for example, subordinates, peers, and superiors. External audiences are people outside of the organization, for example, customers, suppliers, and distributors. As you can see in this chart, there are a number of external audiences, like unions, professional services, media, courts, customers, clients, stockholders, and many more. Knowing about the different types of audiences relate to what we need to learn at the bistro, because the bistro is going to bring in many different types of people. It is a new restaurant, so we will be having a new clientele. For example, people of all ages going on dates, newcomers, family members visiting from out of town, and people meeting up for family gatherings. Not only will we have this new clientele, but also our regulars from Cheesecake Bistro and the Colonel's Retreat will come to support us too. That being said, we need to go over ways to identify different types of audiences. One type of audience is a gatekeeper. This person may stop the message or send it on. The next type is a primary audience. This audience decides or acts on basis of message. Another type is a secondary audience. This audience comments on message or implements ideas. The fourth type of audience is an auxiliary audience. This audience encounters message but does not interact. The last type of audience is a watchdog audience. This audience may exert economic, legal, political, or social power later. A person can be in two of these types of audiences, and it is important for our employees to know what to do in each case. The two types of communication are verbal and nonverbal. This is important information for employees of Lou's Bistro to know because it pertains to the way their tables will view their server. Verbal communication is face-to-face, phone conversations, informal meetings, presentations, tweets, email messages, and websites. Nonverbal communication is pictures, computer graphics, company logos, smiles, the size of an office, or the location of people at meetings. Some results of poor communication are that it wastes time, it wastes efforts, it loses goodwill, and it creates legal problems. It is important to avoid these things because poor communication at a restaurant can ruin a guest's whole experience. The criteria for effective messages are that the message must be clear, complete, correct, saves the guest time, and builds goodwill. Goodwill is positive image. Communication can create or destroy goodwill. Some ways to lose goodwill is by using improper courtesy titles, employing administrative language, conveying a selfish tone, burying the main point, making a vague request, or misusing or misspelling words. This information is important for our employees to know because not only can this build up their personal clientele in the restaurant, but it also can help them with networking. Conveying a goodwill message in the workplace presents a positive image of the server and the bistro, treats the guest as a person rather than a number, and cements good relationships between the guest and their server. Addressing our audience's needs for information will be important in the startup of the new bistro. A skill that goes hand in hand with this is you attitude. According to the Business Administration and Communication textbook, putting what you say in you attitude is a crucial step both in thinking about your audience's needs and in communicating your concern to your audience. When using you attitude, it is important to look at things from the guest's point of view, emphasize what the guest wants to know, respect the guest's intelligence, and protect the guest's ego. If all of these rules are followed, this ensures that the guests will have a great first impression of the restaurant, enhancing their experience and making them want to come back. Once the ways of creating you attitude are perfected, it's time to apply it. To apply you attitude, you use the following techniques. First, talk about the guests, not about yourself. Next, you want to refer to the guest's request or their order specifically. Don't talk about feelings unless you are congratulating or offering sympathy. In a positive situation, you want to use you more often than I. In a negative situation, avoid the word you in order to protect the audience's ego.
Business thank you notes. Sending thank you notes are more acceptable in nearly any circumstance. Thank you notes welcome future business as well as create goodwill. To convey the most goodwill, thank you notes are more effective when implementing a specific reason of thanks. It also helps to have a little knowledge of who your audience is to create even more goodwill by implementing something they like. Due to the growth of technology, handwritten notes stand out and are more likely to be seen rather than sending an email of appreciation. In fact, businesses often keep thank you notes around their offices for others to see, and individuals hold on to thank you notes as a sign of appreciation. As the director of marketing, it is important to see that Tilu's Bistro builds as much goodwill as possible. Doing so, we have a diverse audience we'll be sending handwritten thank you notes to. Firstly, we would like to thank our suppliers for sending us an increase of raw materials in a timely fashion. Secondly, we would like to create thank you notes that fall between mediocre and fancy that stand out to our now diverse customer base. And thirdly, we would like to send thank you notes to all of our employees for working together and making the merge possible. Delivering negative messages. When delivering a negative message, it is expected for the audience to feel disappointed or even angry. However, delivering a negative message effectively puts our audience in focus, and we should strive to make them feel as if they have been taken seriously, that the decision is fair and reasonable, and that if they were in our shoes, they would have made the same decision. To construct a negative message, we should follow these steps in this order. When presenting a reason that the audience will understand and accept, give the reason before the refusal. Give the negative information only one time. Present an alternative or compromise, and always end with a positive, forward-looking statement. Negative messages consist of the following: subject lines, buffers, reasons, refusals, alternatives, and endings. The subject line should include the topic, not the immediate negative. However, it is acceptable to use the negative in the subject line if the message may be ignored and if the message needs information to act. It is important to always use neutral subject lines with caution. Buffers are neutral or positive statements to delay the negative message. It is okay to use a buffer when the audience values a good flow, when the buffer serves as another purpose, and when you are capable of creating a well-developed buffer. Common buffers are positive or good news, facts or chronological events, references to enclosures, gives thanks to the audience, and provides a general principle. Reasons are clear and convincing. Reasons also prepare the audience for refusal and help guide the audience to accept the refusal. Above all, reasons do not hide behind policy. If the policies do not encourage the audience and make them feel like they have made the best decision and like they have been taken seriously, then omit the statement that involves the policy. Refusals are put into context with reason to de-emphasize, and they should be so clear a second message to say no will not be necessary. Alternatives offer a way to get what the audience wants, shows a way you can care about the audience's needs, returns the audience's psychological freedom, and allows you to end on a positive note. With that being said, endings revert to a good alternative, look toward the future, and avoid apologetic, insecure conclusions. Tone of a negative message is also very important. And the tone is an implied attitude of the author toward the audience and subject. This is extremely important in a negative message. The tone should show that the request was taken seriously, and it should use positive emphasis and a you attitude. It should also think about visual appearance and should consider the timing of a message. These are all ways and steps we should follow to effectively present our audience with a negative message.
Here at the TU's Bistro office, we value resumes of the highest quality as they reflect the professionalism of the individual. We strive to hire those who will best represent our company, and that starts with finding those who have a knack for marketing themselves. Resumes are a summary of qualifications which is used for employment. It outlines the applicant's education and experiences, as well as his or her unique skills and interests that can be put toward a career. The best resumes are those which emphasize the applicant's individuality. When one is directing his or her resume toward a particular organization, it is best to first include a cover letter. Cover letters, addressed to a particular organization to which the individual is applying, should communicate how the applicant is best fit for the job and emphasize key qualifications he or she possesses. It is best for the applicant to show strong interest in the job, as well as an openness and willingness to answer further questions. When it comes to resumes, 7 major areas should be included: header, personal profile, summary of qualifications, education, experience, organizations, awards, skills or interests, and references. Firstly, the header features the applicant's name, email, and possibly home address and phone number. The personal profile is a unique statement of 2 to 3 sentences which shows what the applicant can bring to the table for the particular organization and what he or she hopes to obtain from the job. Next, the summary of qualifications features the one-of-a-kind traits the applicant possesses, from personal traits to technical skills. It is best to bullet these in a column format. Following the summary of qualifications is where the applicant may list his or her education, starting with the most recent. Include location and dates, as well as brief information on degree, major, or concentration. When it comes to the experience section, include location and dates, as well as information on individual contributions to and accomplishments within each organization. This is where the applicant should show the organization what he or she can do for them by giving an overview of what he or she has done for others in the past. Experience may be listed before education if there is more to offer in this section. The next section is where the applicant's creativity should come into play. Organizations, awards, skills, or interests. Briefly list a few unique, impressive accomplishments that will make the resume stand out from all the rest in the stack. Lastly, the ideal resume should include 3 professional references for the organization to obtain additional information and input on the applicant and his or her qualifications. There are truly no rules for a resume, but this one should hold true for all. Be honest. Dress codes are an incredibly important aspect of the business world, and due to our recent growth as a company, we believe that enforcing a specific dress code has become even more important. Dress codes create harmony and reduce distractions within the workplace. Our new policy at TU's Bistro, will be focused on the upscale feel our restaurant is going for with the new menu. For our brand new dress policy at TU's Bistro, we have taken the upscale, clean-cut uniform from the former Cheesecake Bistro and combined it with the laid-back, casual uniform from the former Colonel's Retreat and come up with a happy medium for our front-of-the-house team members. Non-slip black shoes, a black belt, black dress pants, and finally, a black button-down shirt featuring our new TU's logo. In addition, hair must be pulled back tightly into a ponytail, bun, or braid, nail polish may not be worn, and minimal makeup is recommended. We believe that this new dress policy will help our employees to reflect the high-quality product and service we are offering to our valued customers, as well as create a more professional, productive environment.
We thank you all for your attention today, and we hope to see you soon at T. Lou's Bistro.